Big up everybody. Welcome once more to Cruise class. And today we're looking at another example of how we can factorize quadratic expressions, specifically the expressions when we have difference of two squares. Now, the difference of two squares method can be solved the regular AC method that we're used to. So if we're going to do that, what we're going to have to do is rewrite the original expression with the b term as a 0 with the placeholder. So instead of writing x squared minus 16, we're now going to write x squared plus 0x as a placeholder to represent the b and negative 16 right now. So what happens is that there's no x term in the original expression. However, we need to have some form of representation of that x term. So we just have to put 0 as a placeholder. And then from there, we carry out the AC method. So a would be 1, c would be negative 16. So 1 times negative 16 will give us negative 16. And the two numbers that can multiply and give us negative 16, but those same two numbers add to give us 0, those two numbers must be negative 4 and positive 4, as we see here. So from here now, we rewrite the b term, which is 0x, in terms of negative 4 and positive 4. And when we have a negative and a positive, I tend to put the negative number first because it helps further down the line to solve or factorize the expression more simpler. So from here, we put the two brackets, and then we start to factor out the terms. So when we factor out the term, x is the common term in this left side of the bracket. So when we factor out x out of x squared, we're left with x. When we factor out x out of negative 4x, we're left with negative 4, and the x is outside. In this term, the 4 is the common factor. So when we factor out 4 out of 4x, we're left with x. And when we factor out 4 out of negative 16, we're left with negative 4, while the 4 is outside. Further factorizing, we will see that on this side we have x minus 4, while on that side we have x minus 4. So we now need to factor out x minus 4 off this side, and we're left with x, plus when we factor out x minus 4 out of this side, we're left with 4. So we're going to be left with x plus 4 multiplied by x minus 4 as the factored form. So this expression is now factorized. However, when dealing with difference of two squares, we can also make life much easier. And the way to do that is look at the first term, x squared. Look at the second term, 16. What we're going to do is set up our two brackets, and then we're going to put the square roots of the first term. So the square root of x squared is x, while the square root of 16 is 4. So all we're going to do is put x here, and then put plus 4 here and negative 4 here. Because all we're doing is simply square rooting each term and putting them in the appropriate place. So this is basically how we carry out the difference of two squares method. As you can see, if you want to do the AC method, you will get the same answer. However, the difference of two squares method is much simpler. Anytime we have the difference of two squares, we simply square root the first term, which is the x squared. We square root x squared and we get x. Square root x squared again and we get x. And then we just put the square root of 16, which should be 4. And it's going to be a plus 4 and a minus 4. And that's how we carry out the difference of two squares.